following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Let's go, baby!
Are you ready for a break?
Yes.
Are you ready for a break?
Absolutely.
Ready for a break?
Yeah, and so much for that.
It's time for The Break on DallasCowboys.com.
We were on the break!
With Ambar Garcia, Bryan Broaddus, Voch Lombardi, and Derek Eagleton.
It is Friday, October 24th, 2025, season 21, episode number 65. Welcome to the latest edition of The Break. We are live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star, presented by LG. LG is the world's number one OLED TV brand for 11 years and counting. See why at LG.com/OLED Evo. All right, today we get you guys ready for Cowboys versus Broncos. That's happening this Sunday. It is a 3:25 kick time Central for those in the Central time zone. For those of us who will be in Denver, it's a 2:25 kick. What's wrong, Bryan? Why are you looking like that?
The screen over there looks funny. It's not straight.
Turn it that way, Derek.
Reach over there, Derek, and move it to your left.
So that you can see.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Bueno.
I hope I didn't do that. I don't
No.
think I did, but
Probably Voch, that big old shoulder turn he
that way.
usually has. Big shoulder turn, like, I'm in
Voch,
here. I'm
Voch one of those wide
Voch
brothers.
Lombardi. Yeah, it's like
he walks in. It's
like
Yeah, he
Wes
wants you to
Unseld,
notice him when he walks
Washington
in.
Yeah.
Bullet, you know.
Well, two
getting under
times this week, Derek did.
You have to use a microphone on this show.
Loudly.
I've noticed
Debate
a lot.
us loud.
There's
Debate
been a
us
lot
loud.
of everybody's hands involved.
So if I had to bet Derek reach back and smack the hell out of that screen or something, if I had to get
then don't
Derek.
start it.
Yeah, Derek. Yeah.
trying to get you
Go
started.
forward versus side.
Exactly.
There you go.
All right, feel good now.
All
Let's
right.
do a show.
Here we go. So let's jump in. Let's talk about some injuries. Trayvon Diggs, concussion, did not practice all week. Jerry said this morning on his show that he's questionable. Shoddy on his show on 105.3 The Fan, he said he didn't feel very optimistic that they were going to have Diggs. What are you hearing, Bryan?
Yeah, I think the later we get in the week, the more likely you're not going to have him. So now you have to think about, though, how do you want to play your configuration? And Voch and I were talking about this morning with each other about with the cornerbacks, when you play man, do you play it with this guy? And when you play zone, do you play with this guy? So that's the kind of the adjustment that you're going to have to think about there, because obviously you have some man players and you have some zone players. And in this game, as we've talked about during the week, you're probably going to want to play a little bit more zone coverage, with that. So with no Diggs, I think it's going to be a question of how you want to get into that.
Does that give away too much if you have players that you're kind of putting on for certain zone versus man? Does that give away too much?
The way this defense plays, I don't really think it matters. I think the
He's not wrong.
That's not a good answer.
I think
No, it's not wrong.
No, I get you. I'm saying that's not a good answer if you're rooting for the Cowboys. That's not a great answer.
I think
Got a really good offense, though.
I think if we're running man in our zone configuration, we're going to look like, all right, Flus, you trying to be too cute just to trying to be deceptive. You don't have to disguise things. The Broncos don't really do a whole bunch of hiding what they do.
There you go.
They're talented, but they don't hide. I think, Flus, if this is where we are and we're just trying to squeak by and get the best we possibly can, sure, man, just roll out what it is. And if you're going to be in your man set, Weezy's going to be there. It's going to depend where Bland is, but in more man, Kyrie Elam's going to be on the field playing outside. In these zone looks, I think they trust Reddy more in the nickel, and then Bland will probably be an outside guy.
All right, let's talk about Donovan Wilson. He has the elbow and the shoulder. He did not practice either. Talk to me about, I guess, what you've heard, but then also what happens if he can't play, because you're already down one starting safety. What happens if he doesn't play?
You're looking at me like I'm going to give you a great answer here.
Yeah, give me a great answer, Bryan.
You know what?
Make it make sense.
I want to believe that that Wilson will try and give this thing a go, but he is dealing with a couple of things. That he played through the elbow with a brace the other day. The shoulder's now become a problem as well, though. I think this is one of those things where they're trying to get him to the game and see where they're at. But you're absolutely right, though. It kind of puts a little bit of some stress on what you're going to do, whether it's with the situation. We've seen it with Bell. He's been the guy that's kind of taken over that opportunity to be. So, yeah, this corner spot is a little thin right now.
Wanye had the migraines, right?
He did. He did. So I think we'll be okay there. But the other stuff is, like I say, we'll see with Wilson. We'll get the designation today, but I kind of was getting the hint that they were trying their best not to practice him and then try and get him to the game. But like I say, the official designation will be later on today.
So talk to me about worst case scenario. Let's assume that Donovan can't play. Let's assume Wanye can't play. Mm-hmm. What do you do at that point? Because now you're down 3 safeties.
We got a Syracuse rookie.
Yep.
Got Elijah Clark. He's a guy that's,
did play a little bit last week.
He did.
Special teams work.
Yep,
yeah,
he did.
On the teams, but he's a guy that's versatile. And if Flus wants to do what he normally does, where he plays safeties up and down, then Clark can do that. I think that's one thing that jumped out on his film in college, Bryan, that he was down in the nickel some, down in the box some, tackling run game stuff, and he played deep. I wouldn't necessarily say that he's a guy that if he's a center fielder, he could play sideline to sideline. If he was, he probably would have been drafted. But he'll probably give you a better feel for a range cover guy than maybe that you'll get with Donovan or something.
Yeah, the thing about it too, you got to remember too, is they've got a couple of guys on the practice squad. Remember they brought back Zion Childress as kind of and so at least it's not like you're putting him out there and he doesn't know what is going on. I mean, he was with you all summer, then he was with the Texans, and then got released, and you took the opportunity to jump back on. Julius Woods also is another guy that he's to me more of a free. Whereas on the other side, Childress would be more of a strong. But both those guys have been with you, and so they'll have a clear path of which one. Hey, do we want to go for a guy that's more of the back end guy, or we want to go the guy that can play down? I thought Zion Childress was really good,
sure.
and I was surprised that he didn't. I think initially he did make the team, and then got they moved on, and things had to happen with some roster gymnastics and things like that. But at least they've got a couple of guys on the practice squad that they can elevate that they, if need be.
Have you guys gotten any sense that they would consider one of their cornerbacks maybe popping up to safety in the event? Because you look at it last week, they got Weezy more involved. You got Reddy Stewart, who they've played some. You got Elam. You got Bland. Do you think that maybe there's a possibility that one of those guys pops back to safety in the event that, like I said, worst case scenario, you're down 3 safeties?
Not at all. I think they're going to leave those dudes at corner. I think if that was the case, I think the Cowboys have had opportunity to do it. And instead of putting a corner at safety, they'll do things like bring back Julius Woods, or they'll bring up Clark. So I don't think that they'll move a cornerback around. If there is a corner that can go to safety, Bryan mentioned, is Zion Childress is kind of like a box safety guy, but he can't cover well, so he plays nickel corner, but he can tackle also. So that'll be a reason why you would think about doing it.
Yeah, to me, if you're talking about the question was, and let me hear you right, we were asking, is there a potential corner that you would bring?
Yeah.
Well, me, if he was healthy,
right.
I'd play Diggs.
Yeah, and you've said that before.
I would. I mean, and this is me. This is me just being radio guy, as Voch likes to say. I got a camera and a mic, and I'm sitting here talking. But to me, if Diggs was healthy and we're starting to get corners back, and you start to feel good about, well, man, maybe Carson can help us a little bit. We'll look what's going on with Bridges. He's helping us here. And, oh, wow, look at Stewart. I mean, everybody's, and Carson's back. Look at this. We've maybe found some corners here.
I see someone in the chat asking about Kalen Carson. And
yeah.
I mean, are you guys, I know we have yet to see, what level he's at this year, but what are your expectations? Are you guys having some type of hope there?
Yeah. It'll be incredibly nice if Kalen Carson gave us some hope, but we just didn't see him. The best time to possibly see him is in camp, and in camp he was hurt for a little. Practice 2 days, 3 days, but for the most part, Kalen Carson was hurt. You really need one of these young guys to kind of step up and do something. Stephen Jones says it all the time. XYZ got to step up. If Kalen Carson was the guy that we thought he was in college, Bryan,
Wake Forest,
boy, we would be some smiling characters up here talking about what we got at corner, but the answer is we just simply don't know.
Yeah, if all of a sudden Carson was just somehow he would play in some games and you were like, wow, that's a pretty good, and
sure.
Then it maybe would give you the opportunity to think about moving Diggs and getting everybody on the field. But until Diggs gets out of the protocol, I mean, we're trying. But the whole thing with Carson is there's just so much unknown. I mean, I knew what he was coming out of Wake Forest. I don't know what he is 2 years removed from Wake Forest. Sure. I'm sorry, folks. I don't mean to do that to you, but I really don't. I don't know what to expect.
To that point, Bryan, thinking back to your experience with personnel and watching guys develop in this league, have you ever seen a guy that you had certain expectations for from college.
Man.
Got into the league.
I knew you were
and
gonna
it's,
do
it's
this.
my well, but I'm just gonna say
No, but I mean that in respect to you. I don't mean that as don't be a jerk.
And look, here's the deal. I'm not saying you have to necessarily throw out a name.
Yeah.
But it's more so. I think after that game in Baltimore last year, I think this player lost his confidence a bit.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
So my question is, have you seen players who you think have talent that have just a season where things just don't go well for them? They lose their confidence a bit, and then they're able to rebound from that and come back and show you what it was that you liked about them when they were coming out.
It depends on.
Let me throw you a name real quick.
Please.
And this is going to be probably bad in a way. How about Mo Claiborne?
I was thinking that, yeah.
I was thinking, Claiborne to me, and one of the most famous memes I've ever been a part of was Proud Bryan when he walking by me in that St. Louis Rams game, and I'm
There's a picture.
Yeah, there's the picture. I think it's on my
it's on your
there. There's somewhere. Where is it? Right
there. It's right there. Right there.
Yeah, there you go. I get it right. Right there. There we go.
Right.
Proud Bryan. But see, that's the thing. It to me, that was a player that played at a very high level. Tom Siskowski convinced everybody, let's trade up. And Tommy had an idea, but man, all of a sudden the guy got hurt and he started his confidence and everything. I mean, you can maybe go back to some guys like was there Mike Jenkins? Was there somebody, like that whole crew? They brought in a bunch of these guys that were high thought of guys. And then all of a sudden they don't play well, they lose their confidence, and then they play at a much better level. Yeah. So yeah, it happens. It absolutely happens, and especially that position. Now we say, oh, you've got to be able to forget. You got to have a quick memory. You got to get rid of those things. But some of these guys can't. Some of these guys can't get rid of that.
I think that sometimes having a different coaching staff can help you get a fresh start, quote unquote, because what you've done in the past, that doesn't just magically disappears, and still you have a lot of the same teammates. But at the same time, I think that hopefully with the different coaching, regardless of the situation of the defense right now, it does give a sense of like, okay, let me start fresh from zero. Let me try to show this new coaching staff what I'm capable of. And hopefully everything that he's watched from the sideline, just again, I talk about if you're really passionate about the sport and this is what you really, really want to do, a different kind of fire is going to light up inside of you where you're going to go out there and try to give it your best, where hopefully the mental thing of it that we keep talking about when he came back, hopefully that's gone. Okay, thank you, Voch.
No problem. They're not. Pickens, maybe. He's a guy, first round pick. Georgia didn't play a whole bunch, but he was highly touted in Georgia, gets to Pittsburgh, and it doesn't go all that well. They didn't do a great job putting passers around him, but it seems like the Pittsburgh, I won't say fan base because they're going crazy on socials right now, but Pittsburgh media ended up being down on him, right? And then Pickens gets here, and he's the first round pick, dynamic dude that we thought he could be if you just give him a passer. I think that could be maybe.
No, I agree with all that. I guess it's more. I was thinking more specific to cornerback and specific more to confidence and losing confidence. No, again, not saying I agree with you. I think that's like the case with.
He really
Pickens.
doesn't. He's just being nice to you right now.
I wonder because confidence
Like, did
for
you
me.
even listen to my question?
I didn't know he was talking about corners.
Actually reminds me, that was a pretty funny bit from the fan yesterday where y'all showed where y'all had walked. I mean, literally, you say it, and then a few minutes later, he says the exact same thing as though it
wasn't
was
a few
never
minutes
said.
later. It's like Dawson talks about Overshone in this light of Overshone's excited, he feels better, he's jumping, he's doing this, and all that, and then he's talking about his knee brace. It's just an
accessory.
Prop. It's accessory, a prop, whatever.
Reads the quote.
So and Dawson puts it out there, and then next thing you know, like 30 seconds later, he reads the quote, the exact quote.
As
I look at
as though he's
Dawson,
bringing something to the air.
he was like, "Look what I saw! Look what I found!"
I got to find it.
Zach had a history that one time we were interviewing the Rangers general manager, and he asked the question. He goes, "Well, like I said before." And Zach's like, "Oh,
my God,
you feel terrible. You feel terrible."
Yeah. I've been there. I've done it before.
Yeah, you don't listen to the show. You got to listen to the show.
All right, let's go ahead and take actually real quick before we take our break. I did want to find out.
Beebe?
You mentioned Cooper Beebe yesterday.
Yeah.
What are we hearing about him?
Yeah. See, this is a good because everything with Cooper Beebe was going to be about it's going to start on Wednesday, and then it was going to be to Thursday, and then to Friday. Everything that I've heard so far has been really positive. The Wednesday practice was good. Thursday he did more things. They're trying to get him now. Friday he'll do more things today, but he's trending in the direction of him being available for you this weekend.
Well, as you guys have mentioned all week, with that front, it would be very nice if you can have him. So we'll keep tracking that, see how that goes before we head into the weekend. All right, we're going to take our first break. We're going to come back. It'll be Yeti time with AG. Amber has some interesting things for us to do, I'm sure. It'll be arts and crafts time, maybe. I don't know. We'll see where she goes. We'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Back to the break.
Choose perfection. Choose LG OLED Evo. Check out the best TV in the game at LG.com. And proud Bryan. That's a beautiful photo.
Looks like something from like Jenny Craig.
Showing your age.
I know. Jenny Craig.
All right, yeah. I weighed 7,000 pounds. Look at me now.
How was you feeling, Bryan? What made you smile like this with your hand on your hip? What made you smile like that?
Okay, it's the end of the game. If you remember well, this game was like, it was tight.
Yeah.
It was tough. Dez made a big play, but finally Claiborne had an interception. And as he's walking by me, I was thinking, it's about effing time. That's exactly what was going through my head.
Look at you.
Look at that.
And you know that
Look at you making plays.
That is his LSU guy. So that was
that's serious.
In that, like,
that was,
man, you finally making us look good.
You've been embarrassed.
You've been embarrassed this whole time.
Seriously, I am not going to lie to you. I go, that was it. That was about effing time is what I was thinking in that picture.
Boy, you one smiling character.
He is.
Yeah.
And it's just that look like,
is.
I'm so proud of
But
you.
God's so terrible.
If he could get to him, he'd just like rub his head like, yeah, I'm so proud.
There you go, kiddo.
You know, people,
Right.
people post that, and I get to the point where it's uncomfortable because I look terrible, but I laugh because I know how much joy people get out of it, the way they look at it.
Proud Bryan.
It's Proud Bryan. That's it right there.
One of those moments that goes down in infamy on Dallas Cowboys.
Thank you, baby. Appreciate you.
All right, this segment is presented by Yeti. Officially licensed Yeti Cowboy gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com.
Get you one.
Get yourself a Yeti. All right. So we're going to continue our therapy session over here, because last time we only got through.
I had real doctors call me after this.
And say, are you guys all right?
Are you all right?
All right. We're going to start with the word vindicated. What is something, someone, a situation, a scenario, something that happened that made you feel vindicated about this Cowboys team?
I'd have to go back to last year. I was saying in training camp last year, this running game is better than you think it is.
Yeah,
sure.
And then we got into the season and it wasn't doing anything. And I was like, I still believed Rico Dowd on this running game is better than you think it is. And then finally, I don't even remember what week it was, they finally started running the ball with him.
After San Fran, when they
and then he had some success. And I'm like, yeah, this is what, like, it's always been there. And I don't think it was some major. I think, Bryan, I think you and I were both agreeing on that. Like, this guy is good, and the offensive line can block for him.
Sure.
Why are you not using him? And then eventually they did, and I felt vindicated.
Not even all the way that Rico is good. But we know that
Rico's good.
I'm saying that's not just the fact, right?
Okay.
I'm talking about Voch right now.
Yeah.
This dude better than 15. I'll say that.
Yes.
This
Yeah.
dude is
Absolutely.
way. So we can talk about. Yeah, Rico did his thing. He had a 1,000-yard rushing season and he wasn't even.
He ain't better than 21, but he better than 15.
He's definitely 100% better than 15. And I was just befuddled. It's like, man, it seems like they're forcing 15 upon us. And it's not like, okay, well, Rico will go first and get the majority of the carries, and then 15 will come sometimes. 15 will be the first guy out there, and you'll get Rico sometimes. Cowboys word backwards, but yeah, you could definitely be told you so guy with that. But I feel that way about 4. Please.
I hear what you're saying, Derek, and I appreciate you sharing. I appreciate you sharing your past experiences, because this is what it's all about. In order for you to figure out your present, you got to heal on the past. But right now we're focusing on the present, and we're focusing on this year. So if you don't mind sharing something that made you feel vindicated about
the season's
this
not over,
season
though.
so far.
No.
About the season so far.
No, I'm not doing it.
But we still, because it's
denial is
so much more.
Something
it's
tough
a river.
to deal
It's a
with.
river.
But go ahead, Voch. Let's move on to you while he processes everything else.
Well, 2 years ago, thinking about how Mike McCarthy was running. Look, let me say this.
That's not.
Let me be honest, man. Let me just say this. People think I'm doing a bit. People think I'm trying to be funny. I can make y'all laugh without saying Mike McCarthy's name. Dak Prescott didn't just roll out the bed and forget how to play football one day. And you hand over play calling duties, and all of a sudden,
this is where I was going to go.
If we could just think about it for a second.
Can I real quick? If you're gonna say that though, you do have to give Mike credit for 2 years ago, because Dak was a MVP candidate. He was like second in the voting 2 years ago under Mike McCarthy.
So let's talk, Mr. Debate Team.
No, I'm just asking.
100%.
Lord.
No. We just have
Derek.
We just talk. The first 6 weeks of that. The first 6 weeks of the season.
Yes, it was crap.
I'll even just hypothetically, because I didn't work here at the time, I think that's what Mike McCarthy wanted this offense to look like. I don't. I think that's what Mike McCarthy wanted this offense to look like. Somebody knocked.
Wait, he wanted it to look bad?
Like some idea of these dragon concepts, slant flats, West Coast stuff, timing, not down the field, move the chains, let Dak just ding. Somebody knocked on his door and tapped him on the shoulder, and all of a sudden this offense got real vertical, real fast. I watched the film, y'all, so at least have some faith in me that I ain't just making stuff up.
Okay.
The first 6 weeks was just dunking down, and then we went crazy vertical. All of a sudden, the next season, when you would think, all right, y'all, let's build on what we did last week, it was a whole season of dragon concepts, slant flats, run upfield, turn around, dinking and dunking.
Fair. What I'm saying, though, is if you're going to ding him for 24, which I'm comfortable with.
Sure.
Go all in.
Sure.
I think you still have to give him, for however it came about, in 23, the decision was made, we're going to do something different. They did, and Dak played at an MVP level. So all I'm going to say is if you're going to hit him in 24, you got to give him credit in 23.
If you're the head coach making all the decisions, we shouldn't need you to be knocked on. We shouldn't need your door to be knocked on to make the best decisions for this team. Somebody had to knock on his door to make the best decisions for. And I know that's the case. And I know it's the case because the very next week he went right back to what he does.
And I get it, but I don't think that's always true. I think as a leader,
sure.
The point is you want to surround yourself with people who are just as smart as you are.
Sure.
And you want them to bring ideas to you that's like, hey, you're doing it this way. I actually think this is a better way to do it. And it takes a good leader to be able to say, you know what? Your way of doing it is better than mine. Let's go with it.
So if you want to give him credit for the back half of that season, fine. You can do that. I'm going to combine those 2 seasons together.
All right, that's fair.
And let's just say what the math is, 36 games. He was being stubborn for 17 out of 36 of those games.
Okay. And I do agree with you in 24.
And I think that was wasting Dak Prescott. That's what I think.
Fair.
This dude had 4 and 11 on his team at the same time, and he couldn't figure it out.
Do you think how 23 ended may have changed his thoughts on that?
23, like, don't give me a number. Give me, like, what happened in this
playoffs, the playoff game.
Green Bay?
Green Bay.
Oh.
Do you think maybe he looked at that and said, this exposes my defense too much to play that style of offense?
Green Bay was a whole bunch of hitches and slants too. If we just keep it honest, they opened it up in the back half of that game, and there was this 40-point surge, but that was garbage time or whatever. But if you look at Green Bay's biggest plays, it was CD and Brandon Cooks fighting people off of hitches and slants.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mike McCarthy took this thing back over, and then going back to his last season, and Bryan, you say this all the time: if he's gonna go out, he's gonna go out his way.
Yeah,
and he showed us that's what it was.
Yeah,
I think he wasted 4 and 11 in their prime together.
All right. Brian.
We got into some feelings if you wanted to. You wanted us to talk feelings.
No, that's good.
We got into
good
good
discussion.
Let's
but
keep
boy,
living
it
in the past.
feels real good since we talking about Vindication. But boy,
you
it feels.
keep ranting about Mike McCarthy. It's done.
I'm answering your question. I'm answering your question. I'm answering your question.
You asked about
Gone with the win. Gone with the win.
I'm answering your question.
No point of talking about it no more.
I feel real good, boy. Now that we got this play caller, head coach out here. Damn, boy, look at what folk can do this whole time, not running hitches and slants. Go ahead, Bryan.
No, I'm good, man. I thought you guys handled that.
Brian's like, I'm Vindication.
No, man. You know what? If I was on the chat right now, I'd be giving you both a high five. So that was good conversation.
All right, what we got, Doc?
Jeez. In this segment, we will not be doing it again. All right. I'm trying to see. Let's go with a moment where you felt very confident, but kind of cocky a little bit.
Oh, I got it.
Please.
That son of a gun lined up to kick that 70-yard field goal against the Giants.
Oh, he's straight.
I'm like, this thing's going overtime. You
went to the bathroom.
I'm like,
it has gotten to that point.
It is. They're like, they score with like 20 seconds left. I'm thinking, well, Dak's gonna get right to midfield. We'll be okay here. Don't worry about this. But yeah, I was cocky, confident, all those things that you want to talk about. When he lined up to make that kick, I was not even. I'm like, get ready. Here we go. This thing's going to be tied.
You know what? It's starting to get that point when you talk about the Cowboys getting the ball and needing points either before the half or the end of the game. Yeah. I heard a stat that Bobby Belt brought up this morning on their show. He was saying that there have been 6 times this season that a team has gotten the ball with less than a minute to go in the half and scored a touchdown. 3 of those 6 have come from the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. The Cowboys are operating at a level much higher than anybody else in the league when it comes to that. And it is starting to get to a point where there was a time when Romo was here when I felt like that. If the Cowboys got the ball with any amount of time left, I was like, he about to go down.
Well, the thing,
and I think they're starting to get that now where you're starting to believe and just feel like when they get the ball, hey, man, I don't care how much time is left. I feel like they got a shot if they got the ball.
There was a previous time, too, when, like, you get the ball in the 28 and you get sacked for -7, and you would have just let that clock run out.
Yep.
You're like, okay, we're not – because we've all been there, too, when they were playing the game in Washington and Garrett called a pass play, remember, right before? And it went pick
he got
6.
Roasted for that one.
Pick 6 the other way. And we're all like, what are we doing here? That kind of thing. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. A moment that made you feel Delulu. Brian, do you know what Delulu is?
I think
Delusional?
Okay.
I think the Cowboys going to win every game and go to the Super Bowl, so I definitely qualify.
I'm kind of right there with you.
Ain't no moment.
Sign me up.
Ain't no moment. I think the Cowboys are talented enough to win every single game that they play.
I'm way too optimistic.
I'm very optimistic, but you'll go out there and do what you did versus like the Bills last year or something, or San Fran happens. Just coaches.
But you genuinely feel that they have. Or they're equipped.
So sure. So I'll
to get there this year.
I'll say it like this:
with the offense, they are.
I think franchise quarterbacks.
Yeah, but you got to look at everything
and the play caller. Yeah.
I think franchise quarterbacks change the entire image and vibe of your football team. If you have one of those dudes, you literally are different. You can. Yeah. So if Dak, and I think Dak's been a top tier guy for the past like 7 years. So like since they traded for Amari, maybe like 2 years after that, I think Dak has been top tier since then, and getting better as an older man. But I think if you have one of those dudes, I think you can win any football game. Now, if your defense gives up points, if coaching blunders happen, if you if you don't do penalties and things like that, you can lose games that way. But going into any game, Buffalo last year, Kansas City some years before that, any good team, I feel like the Cowboys can beat them. The Lions this year, Kansas City, I think they can beat them. It just depends on stuff around it. You know what I mean? So I do think that.
Yeah, I'm even more delusional than that. I just, honestly, I will find a way to talk myself into whatever I want to happen.
I know.
I really do.
For
like
sure.
in every part of my life. My wife is like, that's actually a great thing because it keeps us from, we never get indulgence because I'm just like, it'll all work out. It's fine.
Yeah.
And so I just live like that. So when I do this kind of stuff, like I always find myself in situations where I'm like, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
The defense ain't that bad. I mean, like, they got a sack last week. I mean, they can turn that into 5.
They got 1 sack last week.
5 next week.
Straight.
Seriously, like I tend to think glass half full all the time.
That's me too,
and
man.
it makes me way overly, like I simplify everything that it's fine. It's all going to be okay. So yeah, I'm delusional a lot.
Yeah.
I might be delusional about Diggs. I might be.
That's some prime delusion right there. That's drugs right there.
No,
I'm with you, Brian. I actually, yeah.
No. I'm the you need to keep him guy. I'm like, you're going to need him to. Okay, Voch, I see over there. You don't have to sigh anymore.
We know what you're saying.
I know. I'm delusional. And my delusional is that I think he's one of your better players. I really do. I think that when he's on, he can cover.
I agree.
He can make plays. He can defend the ball when he wants to tackle. I watched him a game against Cincinnati, a 3rd down play, a 4th down play, make back-to-back tackles to get him off the field. But he hurts me sometimes too because sometimes he doesn't do all these things. So I'm delusional believing that he could be that player. And maybe here he's not going to be that player. Maybe there's just too many things circling around him. It'll never allow him to be the delusional player I think he'll be.
So this is me finishing up this, acting like Derek. Like if Dick, like let's just say, boy, them first few weeks he was looking how he looked. He's just recovering from his situation. He just had to get his feet back under him. And maybe towards the end of the season, he's going to be that guy that got 11 picks a couple years ago. I'm going to jail if that's the case. Like get me up out of here if Diggs turns back the clock and turns into that dude again, and the Cowboys gonna make a trade for some character on the West Coast spinning them picks up.
Stop
boy.
But that's how I get really.
You
delusional.
flipped again?
What I do?
Yesterday you said no trade. Today, hold on.
I went
2
and watched
days
a little
ago,
bit of film.
trade.
I went.
Yesterday,
why you screaming?
no trade.
Why you
Today, trade.
Why you raising
Make
your voice?
up your mind.
I just want to. Why you?
No,
Bro, you all over the map.
You are.
Literally every day.
Changing
I'm
it
just
every
curious
time.
what you raising your voice about. What's that about? I can hear you.
Oh, all of y'all can raise your voice but me?
I ain't raising my voice.
I never raised my voice.
Okay.
We don't know.
All right.
They'll take me to jail if I raise my voice.
Okay.
They'll come get me. Security come get me.
All right, that's it. Hey, great job, Amber. Another.
We're gonna do it again next
round.
We're gonna do some more therapy next.
Therapy.
She got 3 more words.
I don't know
on
that
that
we
paper.
all feel good at this point about anything.
Who feels attacked on this show?
Shouts out to Yeti though. This is a Yeti segment.
Yeah, it's Yeti.
Shouts out to Yeti. Did we read it? Did we read it?
Yeah.
She did the read.
I didn't hear you read.
I told her to
All
get
right.
some.
This guy.
We're gonna take our final break. We'll come back. I got some questions for these guys about
Listening is a virtue.
the Dallas-Denver matchup. We'll be back. This is DallasCowboys.com radio.
Very true.
I'm home. Hey, Mom. Before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
If you can't be at the stadium, there's no better way to watch your Cowboys than on an LG OLED Evo TV. That's because everything you see is more lifelike. Every play, every hit. I mean, you might as well be on the sidelines. That's how clear it is. It's all thanks to LG's legendary technology. Perfect black, over 8.3 million self-lit pixels. No one comes close. LG OLED Evo is the best TV in the game for a reason. See for yourself at lg.com/OLED Evo.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
From the field to the festivities, Lucchese embodies the essence of luxury and tradition. Handcrafted with meticulous precision, each pair offers unmatched comfort and style. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Lucchese. Shop the collection today at the Lucchese store at the Star in Frisco or online at lucchese.com. Lucchese, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Back to the break.
AT&T connecting changes everything.
Welcome back. We are in the final segment.
Welcome back.
I'm still emotionally recovering from that last segment. So we got some questions now. This segment is brought to you by blockchain.com. All right, let's talk Denver versus Dallas. My first question for you guys is Dallas had its 4 lowest points scored in its 4 road games they've had this season. They scored 20 against Philly, 14 against Chicago, which was its lowest of the season, 37 against the Jets, good day, 27 against Carolina. Do you think it's a coincidence, or do you think those teams' defenses presented more problems for Dallas?
I think sometimes when you're on the road, you just make some more mistakes. You know, some things just don't always go your way sometimes. But this offense still gets busy on the road. And I think that the offense, even in those situations, they've put up enough points to win those games. You know, we just need the other side of the ball.
Except for maybe 14 against Chicago. That's debatable, right?
Except for Chicago.
Yeah.
See, with Chicago, it was different because they held the ball so long. They didn't give the Cowboys offense time to operate. So I don't even think that was like mistakes. They just did a great job keeping it away from us. But when you're at home, you can hear, you can communicate, you can move guys around. Hey, come on. Like, they don't even say, like, football technical words. He'll just say, oh, right there, CD. Oh, come over here, Turk. You know what I mean? And it's just much more comfortable. It's much more chill. They playing music. They dancing together. So it could be something to that. But I still think that the offense is good enough wherever they are.
Real quick, I see people talking about the noise. And just FYI, like, the way that Brian Schottenheimer practices with these guys, I mean, it is so loud.
It is.
It is the loudest I've ever heard any practices with any other coach. Like, it's insane. So just so you know, like, they practice like that all the time with just an extremely amount of noise going on. Obviously different than game day, but they're equipped to go out there and
they
deal
practice
with the noise.
regularly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, going into this game, when you start to talk about, I think that your quarterback and your play caller have an understanding on the same page. I think that he tailors game plans now to kind of combat some things. The Jets thing, you know, going on the road there. You mentioned the Carolina one, I think was just unfortunate because you just got run on. You know, that was really kind of a defensive thing. I think offensively you were playing well enough. You didn't run the ball like you needed to, but I just feel like that maybe this play caller has an understanding of how he needs to play these games. I know when we were breaking it down this week, we were talking about, you know, possibly first down passes, second down runs, you know, those kinds of things to try and keep, you know, to play away from Denver's strengths. So to me, when you go on the road, you got to be able to communicate but you got to have a play caller that understands how the game needs to be called. And I think this guy will be okay for that this weekend.
Next question. Dallas's offense, passing offense, when they've been 100% this year, has been almost unstoppable. Almost every game, that offense, from a passing standpoint, has been really, really good. Do you think there is a weakness to this passing offense if they're 100%?
The only shot that you have is to deal with the offensive line. I guess
that's where I was going to go. Yeah.
But when Dak's playing like he's playing,
so I'm having a nitpick, right? You know, like I don't like you. I don't think a team has the amount of corners to just match up with the guys that we have. If you decide to play zone, then Dak mentally can deal with that, right? So to beat the Cowboys, think about Green Bay in the playoffs. Like they were able to beat us offensively because guys just couldn't get open. Yeah. You would bully CeeDee Lamb a little bit, and just the other guys couldn't win the one-on-one matchups. Good luck to you trying to keep Cowboys from winning one-on-one matchups right now. If you listen to Sounds of the Sideline, shouts out to everybody that's involved in that. Like
Alex Lilly, my man.
Shouts out to Alex. But CeeDee Lamb said it on the sideline. Like, hey, man, they going to try to run some man against us? I mean, you don't want to do that. Yeah. If you do it, then that's what we want, right? So the Cowboys are a man-whooping team. Just me nitpicking, the only way is if Dak is having a bad day operating pressure in front of him, maybe you can either win gap exchanges in the middle with the guards, or you could just flat out beat the tackles with power and speed or something like that. But even Dak knows how to handle it and get rid of the ball quickly.
Bad days on offense is usually, and I hate to say this, it's Steele or Guyton, and it's unfortunate because they get left one-on-one 75-80% of the time. They don't get a lot of double team help out there at tackles, and if things are going to be wonky on offense, it's probably going to be because they didn't do a good enough job at the tackle spot.
Yeah, I hate that you mentioned that because it just feels like you jinxing it. You jinxing it, Derek. I don't like it. I like to stay grounded. I don't like to, like some other people.
It'll be fine.
The Lulu?
Fine.
Yeah, I get too crazy.
Fine.
But I will say, like, as you asked that question and these guys were talking about it, like, it's hard to come up with something in my mind that I feel like they wouldn't be able to deal with, like go up against and fight and still find success in scoring enough points. So and that's crazy. I haven't felt like that with this offense in a little while because before, not to bring back McCarthy, but it all came down again to the play calling and in some of the ways that was utilized. And I feel like Schottenheimer, he continues to improve in the play calling this year, week by week. I think he's continued to get better.
Ambar, let me tell you something. Hold on, Derek. I'm sorry.
I know. Not again.
I was talking to Bryan about this.
What's the next question?
I'm not gonna bring Buddy up, but I was talking to Bryan about this, and shouts out to my guy Will Steele. I talked to him about this too. This feels like one of those games to where past Cowboy coaches would kind of get beat up on a little bit, to where this defense that you just can't crack and you're just gonna go out there with less of a plan and get out physical and not have a counter to what the Broncos defense is gonna throw at you or whatever. Lesser coaching administrations, this will be a game where you get smoked. I believe in Shotty in this situation because just hearing that dude talk, Clayton Adams talk, Dak talk, I think they got a plan and a backup plan and a backup plan to the backup plan.
Yeah.
I can't say past administrators have had that.
Yeah, I don't know if Nick said it on his show, but he was telling me this week, he was like, I got a feeling they're going to go up there and smash them. But it was like, I don't know if he went live with that. I just went live with his opinion, but we'll see. But that's not the first time I heard somebody say they feel like that's going to be this kind of game. I don't know if I feel that confident in it because here's the thing. I think when you look at this matchup,
sure,
it's really the first time that this Dallas offense is going to be truly tested, where you're playing a defense that really, in all three levels of their defense, they got talent and they can play. And I think that's going to be where I will be able to learn a lot from this game. Because if Dallas goes to Denver and puts up a ton of points, then I'm like, they can play against any defense in the league, and they're going to put up points. There's no defense that can shut them down. If they are 100%, they will be successful offensively. Then it's just a matter of, and it might be the impetus I need personally, not that I make the call on this, to say, okay, let me get a little bit more help from my defense.
Sure.
Because I feel like my offense can play against anybody. If I can get 1 or 2 extra stops a game, I can go as far as I can go. I can go all the way.
2 games that makes me feel that way, right? Green Bay. I think Green Bay threw everything that they could at you on defense.
Yeah.
And that was a front that was much better than yours. Yeah. And the Cowboys,
but not as good as Denver.
And not as sure. Yeah. But the Cowboys accounted for that. Now, Denver doesn't have a Michael Parsons, though.
Right.
But the Cowboys accounted for the idea that up front, the Packers are going to give us problems with the rush. and they dealt with the rush. And one more game, the Jets aren't the best team in this thing, but there's a lesson in every bar. What happens when you are down most of your offensive linemen, 4 of them, and there's a superstar corner over there versus your superstar receiver? Now, George Pickens only had 2 catches for 50-something yards. And a touchdown, though.
And a touchdown, yeah.
But this offense showed me we going to run the football and get 9 catches. I got faith in them dudes over there. I got faith in those guys over there.
Yeah. All right. So let's get predictions. What do you guys think is going to happen this Sunday? I assume that.
Man, I'm the Lulu, man. The Cowboys going to beat the hell out of the Broncos, something crazy. But I'll say 35-32.
All right.
They haven't played a quarterback like this one.
They sure haven't.
They've played the Chargers and Philadelphia, probably the best that they've faced this year. You know, what we saw with the Colts was very, very early in the year. I just don't think Denver's played a quarterback and an offense like this. And I think that when we got the schedule out, it was win-loss, win-loss. We play that game. I had this one as a loss. I didn't know how good your offense was going to be like this. Your defense, I think there's some things that still are a little bit of work in progress, as they like to say. But I just think Dallas's offense, the quarterback play, you have the clear advantage here at quarterback. And I think he makes the difference in this game. Give me Dallas 28, the Denver Broncos 24.
Yeah.
That's what I had.
Perfect.
28-24 Cowboys. But I will say the one thing that does give me pause is going back to last time we went over there. I remember, and I haven't gone back to look at exactly the situation, but if my memory serves me well,
you were bad
I think
on offense.
The Cowboys were a decent team. Like, they were good. This is back when Zeke was still playing with the team. They were good. And then we went there to Denver, and then absolutely nobody played well in that game. There might be one player, I don't remember.
That was a horrible game for them.
But it was bad for everyone. So that's one of the things that I'm just like, granted, I feel better about this offense than that one at the time. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, maybe even though I still think they'll still win, maybe it kind of slows them down where they don't look as great. Yeah. But still, they have everything that they need to be capable of winning this game.
All right. I think this is going to be a very close game, as a lot of the games have been this year. I think this is going to be a game where ultimately it's going to be decided by the kicker.
Sure.
And I think it's going to be some dramatics. I think in that.
I forget when is that in the altitude? Is it better or worse?
It's better.
Because the air is thinner.
He might make a 75-yard field goal.
I think it's going to be some dramatics in this game. I think he's going to break an NFL record with the length of the kick that he's going to make. But I think that's how they're going to win the game. Give me 33-28. But it's going to be a close game, and ultimately they're going to win. They're going to win it at some point because of a really, really long kick.
Shouts out to the EBs.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why we got a shout out today, but thanks. Appreciate it.
I'm just saying. I shout people out all the time.
Okay. Appreciate it. All right. We are done for the week. We will be back on Monday. We'll tell you what went right and wrong for the Dallas Cowboys. Till then, for Voch, Lombardi, Bryan, Broaddus, and Ambar Garcia, I am Derek Eagleton. This has been The Break live on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!